I think that's the big thing in the West is they're worried about how they treat women. Like you think, even like gay people, like, oh, you won't see a gay person over there.
Yeah.
You do see gay people over here. Do you know what I
lot
mean?
of them here, especially in
So
Dubai.
I googled it, Dubai Creek Harbour. Look at it, and I see this big, huge city with a big, huge tower.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this place is amazing.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Yeah, I come here on holidays, it doesn't exist. Do you know what I mean?
But what I heard also is that there is some sort of preferences. So, for example, an agent from the UK, he's more appreciated than an agent from, let's say, Africa.
I think there's a serious problem with untrained agents. Companies are not investing at all in training their agents to sell.
I'm here for 8 years. I spare my experience. People, especially from the West, when they come to Dubai, usually it's a heartbreak.
Okay.
Because for us, it's not a heartbreak. It's a money thing. You know my point?
Yeah.
But for you guys, I like 70%, 80% of the people who come here, like, yeah, it's either a divorce or a girlfriend left him or a boyfriend left her, something like that.
Yeah.
I hope it's not the same case for you.
No, it's not the same case for me. No, I came looking for money. Yeah, 100% came looking
That's
for
a
money.
good one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the best reason.
But the reason I came here actually, my boss, who I used to work for, because I was, as I mentioned, I was in car sales for like 7 years, multiple different garages. But my last boss was actually a close friend of mine.
Yeah.
And he came here. His fiance actually used to live here for like 8-9 years. So she comes back to visit. So he came back with her, and I was working for him for about 3 months.
All right.
And he came to Dubai on holiday, and he came back, and he's not much older than me. He's like 32, 33. He has his own car dealership in Ireland. And he was like, oh, if I was younger, I'd go to Dubai, I'd do real estate. I never even thought of it before. I was sitting there like, huh. I was like, okay, might be a good idea. So I looked into it, and I spoke to one of my friends, and it turns out one of his friends was already over here.
Yeah.
Doing real estate. Spoke to him. Within 3 or 4 weeks, I had my first interview. A couple of months later, I came here just to make sure I liked it here. I'd never been to the Middle East.
Yeah.
So been all over Europe. I've been to India. I've been to Thailand. I've been to Vietnam. Been to Indonesia, America. Never been to anywhere.
Arabia, yeah.
Never.
People with white kanduras.
yeah. Never seen it.
It's weird, like, you know. I mean, I know what we have a little bit of a scary reputation because of Hollywood. I don't know why.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But let's talk about this like briefly. Before coming, let's say when your boss was telling you, oh, if I was younger, I would have went to Dubai or start over in Dubai or whatever. What was your idea about Arabia in general?
So Dubai, in my head was Vegas. Looked like Las Vegas.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So I compared it, but I think as well nowadays we have YouTube, and you can see so many like real life footage of things. So Dubai I kind of had figured out a little bit, but in general, like I went to Saudi Arabia last weekend for my first time, and it's so different to what people would think.
Yeah.
And without getting into too much of what people think about what these countries are like and what goes on in these countries, when I went to Saudi Arabia, the first thing that threw me off is my taxi driver was like a 15-year-old. So that threw me off as soon as I got to the airport. So that was a little bit scary.
Yeah.
But like, for example, you think like, oh, like women don't have rights, women don't have this. Like in Dubai, especially, they're extremely protected. Women are here, and we're here just underneath them. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So I think that's the big thing in the West is they're worried about how they treat women. Like you think, even like gay people, like, oh, you won't see a gay person over there. You do see gay people over here. Do you know what I mean?
A lot of them here, especially in Dubai.
Especially in Dubai. So like these things are all like misconceptions.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I think another misconception, and I don't know why I thought this because I don't know where I got it from, but you actually think that local people here aren't going to be that friendly. But it's the complete opposite.
Yeah, they're very friendly people.
Very friendly, very generous.
Super generous, actually.
They sleep a lot. It's probably why they're so friendly. That's one thing I've noticed. Yeah. Especially in Saudi Arabia. I was trying to get lunch. It was like 2 p.m. Yeah. And nowhere was open till 3:30.
Yeah, I mean...
Mixture probably of the heat in the summer, a few different things, but...
Look, you already have been here for some time. Is it your first summer?
Yeah, this is my first summer.
Okay, so summer is very slow.
Yeah.
In summer, everybody is super slow, more indoor than outdoor.
Yeah.
So you can see that the rhythm of life completely changed. Even business-wise, there's always a little bit of drop in the summer. So maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But just to come back to the gay subject.
Yeah.
What I didn't like from the West, it was what happened in Qatar in the World War. In the World Cup. it was very like, especially Americans, they were coming there's a lot of people, they were coming to look for that aspect of, oh, where's the gay people? You know what I mean? And there was a lot of people that were just saying whatever things like, oh, you don't see like gay couples doing something. Here, even straight couples, they cannot do like show affection in public, just get the room, you know what I mean? So they have to understand that, you know, these things, it's a cultural thing. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just cultural.
It's culture, of course.
And regarding the safety, because everybody's talking about the safety actually is a cultural thing as well. If you come back 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago, there was crimes. You know, we are humans in the end of the day. But the culture of Arabia, it's very, very, like, for us, a thief, it's not a cool thing. You know, like, I when you see in the movies, because I don't have an idea about the UK or the US, when you see in the movies like gangsters or
it's
someone,
cool,
like, it's like cool. Here, it's not cool. You're a thief, what? Like, you know what I mean? So it's a cultural thing.
And culture is this big thing. People need to learn to respect culture. And it's funny, hopefully there's not too many Americans listen to me, but like I feel like the culture in America is so new, they don't really have much culture to go back on. Whereas obviously in like Arabia, the culture is really, really old. But we've the same in Ireland. We have a really, really old culture. The culture goes back thousands of years. And even in Italy, so my dad's Italian. In Italy, like if you order a cappuccino after 11 o'clock in the day, they won't say, they say no.
Because it's a rule. It's like cultural thing.
And that's a cultural thing. You can obviously have a cappuccino whenever you want. But their culture is as far as that. So when you come here to the Middle East, so if you're in Italy, basically, they expect you not to drink cappuccinos after 11 o'clock.
Sorry, I just want to ask you speak Italian?
No.
Oh, you missed that, bro.
No, I don't. So you're expected to not drink coffee, but and then you come here and they think it's okay to just disrespect the culture here. You know what I mean? That bothers me. And the culture is
breaking the spaghetti.
Exactly. It's all, and you see it on TikTok and stuff like that. Like, and it's a little bit funny. Okay, fair enough. In Italy, it's a little bit funnier. You can make fun of like breaking because it's only pasta. Whereas here, maybe they're a little bit more serious. It's heavily religion. Of course, Italy's religious, but the religion here, and one thing I respect about Muslim religion is like, you don't mess around with Muslim religion. You don't make jokes about Muslim religion. You don't talk about it. Whereas people will make jokes about like Catholicism because people don't do anything about it. Do you know what I mean? So I do think the respect here is high, but they hold a high standard, and that's why a lot of people are coming here because the standards are high and they're kept high. And if you don't respect the standards, leave. You're not.
By the way, you just drifted to where I want to take the conversation. Is like why people are coming here. Especially from the West. And regardless of the taxes, because everybody think people are coming for the taxes, which is not really the case, because not all people, they want to open a business. Even though I know salaries, people like cut salaries, taxes cut from your salaries in the West. But I think the main reason why people are coming here is as you said, the standard of life. And well, as a Westerner, do you think there is other things, or as per your experience, that are more motivating? Because I saw in your Instagram what you're doing is that you are advising people how to come here, like the budgeting, where to rent in the beginning. So are you receiving messages or DMs of people wanting to come here? And if yes, why you think is the motive? Accept money. I know money is one of them, but accept that.
Money is obviously a big one, and it's just, it is what it is. But a lot of people don't realize as well, just to touch on this, because I can't get this point over enough. Real estate agents, 20% of them are making money. 80% of them are drowning.
Of course.
And people don't realize that. So just if you're DMing me about being a real estate agent and I haven't replied, because I have hundreds of DMs I haven't replied to, and you're asking me about money, that's the answer. So no, the other reasons people come here is safety, firstly. Secondly, safety is a huge thing actually, because for example, okay, like I can't afford a nice watch, but if I did have a nice watch, you can't wear it in London. You can't wear it in Barcelona. Okay, in Ireland you can wear it. In Ireland it's still okay for the most part. Maybe in Dublin it's a little bit. Anywhere else in Ireland you're fine. Here you can definitely wear it. You can leave it. You can take it off and leave it here. And people think that's a joke. It's not a joke. You can literally do stuff like that here. Things will not get stolen.
This is not a joke.
No, it's not a joke.
Not a joke.
People see it on TikTok and they think like, oh, he's just putting it. It's not. You can leave. You can leave stuff on the table. They will not go missing. And the other side of things as well, I think as well, the weather. Now, okay, right now I'm regretting saying how great the weather is because it's hot. But 9 months of the year, the weather here is amazing.
You know what? Let's just pause about the weather a little bit. because there is a lot of people in the comment section. Now we're gonna talk about your comment section as well.
Yeah.
In the comment section, oh, Dubai, it's hot. Dubai, it's hot. It's hell for 4 months.
Yeah.
Dubai, it's hell for 4 months, but it's heaven for the rest of the year.
Of course, yeah.
You know, it's heaven for 8 months, hell for 4 months. This is life. It's a universal law. You know, good
There's
things.
no good without bad. Yeah.
Yeah, the good thing, you have to go through a little bit of hell to enjoy the heaven. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so yeah, I
100%,
just wanted to say that.
Yeah. And it's obviously, this is my first summer here. So I'm feeling the heat at the moment.
Yeah.
I will leave in August. I will go on holidays in
That's the
August.
best solution.
I will go away for a couple of weeks, but I got to work, so I'll be back.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. You know what I mean? As you said, there's no good without bad. So.
Have you seen those videos of Arabs drinking hot tea in the heat?
Well, I actually put up a story the other day asking if you drink hot or cold coffee.
Yeah.
I drink hot coffee in the heat. I don't know why, but I've read somewhere before.
But look, the problem with that thing is that some people, they cannot do it, because I'll explain to you. So basically, I can do it.
Yeah.
But if someone is new, he's not used to the heat, if he drinks something hot in heat, he will feel more hot. But if your body is used to the heat of this place, then you can.
Yeah.
So for example, me, I jog outside around 11, 12.
Oh, really? In the day?
Yes, in the day. In the summer, I do a 20 to 25 minute jog. Sometimes I play basketball for an hour plus, but at night, at night in the summer.
Yeah.
So what happened? Your body, for me, the heat is not a problem.
Yeah.
I can walk in the heat. I hate the sweat.
Yeah.
So my problem is the sweat, not the heat.
Yeah.
So once your body is used to this weather, you can go outside. When you drink something hot, you will not feel hot, because you're drinking something, what you're drinking is hotter than the weather. But if you're drinking something cold, the contrast in the temperature in your body will be, you will feel it more. You will feel more hot. But because some people, they want to try this trick to drink something hot in heat, and they think it will work. Actually, it will not work.
Okay.
It will work only after a while, when your body is used to the real heat. Because a lot of people in Dubai, they're living indoors. So they can never do that.
Yeah, I actually read something recently. Actually, I didn't read it. That was a lie. Someone came into work and did a talk. So we had a speaker in work, and he was saying how the UAE has one of the highest efficiencies of vitamin D in the whole world.
Yeah.
Because most of the people in the UAE are hiding from the sun all year round. Yeah.
But
so that's something that's interesting as well. Yeah.
But the sun is good. Be on the sun, even especially in the morning.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Yeah. I've been doing 6 a.m. runs. Yeah. It's only
before you take your shower, if you have a balcony. Before you take your shower, just wash your face. I do this routine. It's good. Open the balcony or go outside. Just that sun in the morning is good. You'll sweat a little bit. I'm talking in the summer, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you take your shower. It's gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
But look, I want to talk about your career now, because I was impressed by your results, bro.
Yeah.
So you told me. Remember when we spoke? You told me you started, or you're doing this for 9 months.
Yeah, so on the 1st of October, I started.
Yeah, you started 9 months, and you told me you did 7 deals, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, so I did actually.
But let me give the
okay, yeah, go for it.
There is like a twist here. So you told me in 9 months I closed 7 deals, and I was like, what? 9 months, 7 deals? I was shocked.
Yeah.
And then you told me, but listen, bro. Actually, the first 6 months I was doing only rentals.
Yeah.
So you closed 7 deals. Literally in 3 months.
Yeah, since February, yeah. So.
And that was like a shocker.
Yeah.
How come? What's the secret?
For me, I've closed, I think, I used to say it was all my deals, but one of them it actually wasn't. So I think it was 6 of the deals I've closed, all pretty much some way related through social media. So I started TikTok in August last year.
All right.
Yeah, August last year. So coming up in a year, 10 months ago. And I was in car sales back home in Ireland.
All right.
But I knew I was coming to Dubai soon, but it wasn't really how I was thinking about it at the time. My boss that I used to work for had a big TikTok account, which I was always featured on. And I read somewhere that, I keep saying I read somewhere, I saw somewhere on TikTok. That's very, yeah.
Looking at a video on TikTok or YouTube is the new form of reading.
It's like reading, yeah, exactly. So I saw something whereas TikTok recognizes faces and algorithms.
Yes.
So when I was doing his videos, in my head I was like, I wonder if I make my account and I do a video with just my face about his business, day in the life of a car salesman, working for him, but not mention his name, will I get the same client? Will I get the same views? And I did. And all the people that were seeing his videos now were seeing my videos.
They jumped, yeah.
Yeah. So then when I came to Dubai, the first day I started off in a company called House & House, one of the biggest real estate agencies here. I started in leasing. And the first day I did a day in the life of a real estate agent in Dubai, first day.
That was the first. This is how I discovered you.
Yeah. So I got 160,000 views on that, and gained 1,000 followers from that one video. And then I just kept that going.
Yeah.
And since then, so I closed my first deal, came through Instagram, buyer came through Instagram. Sorry, seller came through my Instagram, buyer came through my work's Instagram. And then the second deal, the 2 properties we got, the 2 properties I had came through Instagram, buyers came through Property Finder, Beirut, whatever it was. And the rest of them, rest of them then came either generated buyer or seller through TikTok. Yeah. So
Cool.
it was always one half of each deal was generated through
Social media.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, there is this problem with the. I'm not gonna say the old people because some of them are not really old.
Yeah.
But some agents or some salespeople in a lot of domains, not only in real estate, they still go for the cold calling. Especially now they're illegal.
Yeah.
Like officially illegal. So if I will ask you, Gino, between cold calls and generating leads from social media, if you can give roughly a percentage, what would be that percentage?
Probably 60-40 social media cold calls.
So 60 for social or for cold?
60 for social. But you see, it's a little bit hard to answer that because there is one more area that people don't actually mention often when they're talking about it, which is referrals.
Oh, yeah.
So I get a lot of my business. Okay, maybe I don't do a deal. I don't know if you call it business, but a lot of the people I speak to have come from a referral at some point. Whether it's a referral from a client, a referral from one of my bosses, or a referral from someone else in the company I work for. Because in Strata where I work, we're very specific on our areas. I do Creek Harbour, Maidan.
Yeah.
If I speak to someone on the phone and they have a unit in downtown, I'm not going to work on that. I don't know downtown. I don't do downtown. I'm going to pass that off to my colleague. And referrals is a huge, huge base for business in real estate. And also, I've always been quite lucky to get referrals for 2 reasons. One reason, because I do Creek Harbour.
Okay.
If you have a referral for downtown, for example, you've got 10 agents in your company. You have a referral for Creek Harbour, you have 4. And also, I make a good effort to try talk to people, try be nice to everyone in the office as much as you can.
So that's the second reason that you try your best to.
Yeah, you just try to be nice to people because it's you want your colleague to think, okay, I have a referral. Who am I going to give it to? It's Creek Harbour. I want to give it to Gino. Look, you want people to hear Creek Harbour, think Gino.
I understand. Yeah. It was for me. It was like not odd, but I was like, okay, this guy he's specialist only for Creek Harbour. I rarely see. I see specialists for downtown Marina, but someone specialist, or he's like specifically working in Creek Harbour, only Creek Harbour. That was new to me. I never seen someone doing this before. Or you're branding yourself like this on social media. But like before, I want to talk about the misconception. But before I will jump into this misconception, because it's a really delicate subject, I just want to quickly know why you first of all, did you choose Creek Harbour?
Yes.
So you choose Creek Harbour. Why?
So I chose Creek Harbour. So there's a real reason, and then I was advised, and then I did research and I chose.
All right.
So, as I mentioned before, when I was back in Ireland, I got in touch with someone who was here, who was doing real estate. I got in a phone call with him. I was like, "What, Joe? Can you explain a bit to me?" He spoke about areas, and then he just mentioned Creek Harbour, and I was like, "Oh, what's Creek Harbour?" And he's like, "Oh, that's my community that I work in." He's like, "So it's a Dubai Creek Harbour. It's an EMAR community. It's only 20% built. There's 80% to go." So I googled it, Dubai Creek Harbour. Look at it, and I see this big, huge city with a big, huge tower.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this place is amazing.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Yeah, I come here on holidays, it doesn't exist. You know what I mean? So I come here on holidays. I literally come here on my own for a week. I was like, I need to see what Dubai is like. I don't want to move somewhere if I don't like it, blah, blah, blah. Come here. Okay, put in Google Maps, Dubai Creek Harbour. Get out. I'm in this. Have you been to Dubai Creek Harbour before?
Yeah, like passing by. Yeah.
So it's just an island. This one road goes this way, the other road, and there's 20 buildings or so. At this stage, the beach wasn't even open yet, and I was like, "Where's this fucking tower?" Excuse my language. I don't know. If
No. You can cuss. It's okay.
So I was like, "Where's this tower?" Googled it, Creek Tower. Then it's all this stuff like, "Oh, Creek Tower delayed. Creek Tower not as tall as Burj Khalifa." And I was like, oh shit, I was like, it doesn't even fucking exist. I was like, then I realized that literally only 20% of this place exists.
Yeah, it's a vision. It's a whole vision.
It's a vision, and we don't understand that in Ireland. You don't have visions in Ireland. Well, not like for property. Do you know what I mean? Everything's built. Everything's been built for thousands of years.
That's the difference.
I didn't even know what an off plan was before I moved here.
Seriously?
Yeah. I never even heard of it.
Yeah, you guys don't, because I think Ireland, not only it's ancient and it's built, but there is a lot of green area.
Loads of green area.
Yeah, you cannot just eat all the green areas. You have to stop.
And they're very specific. Planning permission.
Yeah.
Some stuff I see built in Dubai, especially in somewhere like JVC, for example. It's like, okay, there's this big tower here, and then there's almost this other tower, like you could spit on it. Do you know what I mean? From your window. Like, in Ireland, that would not be allowed.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't even build. You can't even have like a mobile home. Do you like a portable house?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to put one of them in your garden in Ireland.
Yeah, they're very meticulous when it comes to that.
Very strict.
Yeah.
And over here, okay, they are strict on things, but
even in Dublin,
everywhere is extremely strict.
So I can imagine that Ireland is low rise. You can see the sky. Everything is.
Yeah.
But each place have its own culture.
Of course.
Like personally, I like low rise.
Me too.
High rise, I was not interested. I used to live in a 42nd floor. It was not interesting at all. It was not interesting at all. Look, let's come back to this misconception that it's a delicate subject.
Yeah.
Look, when I started doing podcasts, it turns out like I had a lot of real estate people that I got interested in. First of all, real estate people are cooler. They speak very well. They have a lot of experiences. They understand Dubai better than anybody else. But in the comment section, like people start talking about these things. Like, for example, I understood that in real estate, each nationality sell for its own. Like, for example, if you're from the UK, you will tend to sell to people from the UK, which is understandable. Indians sell for Indians, Russians for Russians, and etc. This makes sense. Human nature, it's normal. But what I heard also is that there is some sort of preferences. So, for example, an agent from the UK, he's more appreciated than an agent from, let's say, Africa. I'm from Africa.
Okay, yeah.
So do you think it's a misconception, or do you think, like, as per your experience, in your office, I mean, I heard that there is some offices, the top seller is an Indian guy, and the top seller is a South African guy. In some others, the top seller is a Russian. So what do you think about what I just said?
So where I work, we were only talking about it, and the only reason I'm actually saying it is because my boss made a video about it the other day. We only have one Arabic salesperson out of 63 agents, and
all of them are from other places. Yeah,
huge amount of the UK, particularly from Liverpool, because our boss is from Liverpool. So he started off the company 2 years ago, and it built a lot of Liverpool.
But it makes sense, yeah.
But to answer your question truthfully, I don't want to call it racism because it's not racism, but I do think people stick to their own here more so, especially when it comes to real estate. Like, for example, I did a viewing yesterday with I had the listing up. An agent rang me, an Indian lady. She was like, "Oh, I have a client to come see this," and then I realized when I met the client, I'd actually spoke to the client already on WhatsApp, but he stopped replying to me. So I kind of said it to him. I was like, "Look, Joe, obviously we both realize now that we know each other. Joe, how come you went through this?" He's like, "Oh, I wanted to deal with someone who could speak
my language."
And I said, "Yeah, that's fine."
Yeah, I mean, in terms of that, from that perspective, it makes total sense.
I think that's what the main perspective is. To answer your question, does it make a difference to how well you do? I don't think so. Because, for example, like, okay, in my company, the top biller is from the UK. But 90% of the office is from the UK. In the company I was in previously, which is a much larger company, which had 400 or 500 agents, the top biller was from Australia. But I do know, like, obviously there's huge, like, Indian agents that make huge money here. Chinese agents,
because of the Chinese investors, Russian agents, because of the Russian. I think because it's a subject that I really want to talk about. I think if I will open a company, or like if I'm a CEO of an airport, and I have an employee coming from Heathrow Airport and another one coming, I don't know, from Algeria, my country, not to bash other countries, I'll somehow tend to trust the English guy or someone coming from that airport. So I think coming from Europe, even though somehow Europe now is struggling, but coming from Europe, it gives some credibility. And we have to give credit when credit is due. Because some people, they don't want to see the truth as it is. We have to give credit when credit is due, because there is this wages issue that a lot of people are talking about. And it's not logical to tell me, okay, we should all get paid equally. It's somehow like the women versus men.
Yeah.
You know, we know that men tend to work more hours. Maybe that's why this is one of the factors. This is why they're paid more. And from an HR standpoint, men, they tend to stay longer in a company, especially if they join from like 25 years. You can tell, okay, he or she will stay at least 40, 45, 50. But a woman, she starts thinking about having kids. This affects the decision of the wages. Now, when it comes from where you're coming, I mean, if you're coming from Europe, US, Australia, countries where they're developed, first world countries, you're coming with an expertise.
And education.
Yeah, this is a factor. And an education, like which is maybe developed. This is a factor. This is a factor that will affect your wage. Adding to it that you are used to get paid more from where you're coming than, for example, me. I'm coming from Algeria. I'm used to a lower salary because of the currency thing. And people disregard all of this, and they blame the region for this. It's not a segregation. It's how things are. Each thing is you have to weigh why some nationalities are more appreciated in terms of wage, like versus others.
Another thing that people don't consider is how good your English is.
Another one.
How well can you speak English? Because I've come to Dubai. I have not had one issue speaking to someone. I've never met someone that doesn't understand. Okay, maybe my accent they don't understand.
No, but when you alter your accent,
I can speak. So I ring someone a local person here, and I want to speak to them about their property. They might pretend not to speak English to me because they don't want to talk to me. They might speak Arabic, but they understand me.
They get it.
But if I only speak Italian, for example, we'll keep it European. If I only speak Italian and I'm trying to speak Italian to someone down the phone who's Arabic and from UAE, they're not gonna. They don't have a clue.
First of all, if you're Italian trying to speak in English, you're speaking in English with your own accent, and he is or she is speaking in English with her own accent. There will be some sort of a language barrier.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, I noticed that as well. Okay, I just also want to come back to your background. Now we cleared this.
Yeah, we got that out of the way.
Because I needed also to say it.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, your background is a sales. You're a salesman.
Yes.
You sell. You used to deal with cars, and then you're now selling apartments.
Correct.
What I want to ask you is that did you notice now in the market that a lot of people are actually just jumping? They never did sales, and they're jumping and becoming like salespeople. What do you think about that?
Yeah. So I do think sales is something that can be bred in you. I do believe that some people are born naturally good at selling, but obviously not everyone. But just on the people that are naturally born, it comes with, for example, I work with a lot of Scouse people, so people from Liverpool. They speak fast, they speak with a high tone, everything's exciting, everything's fun, everything's cool. They can sell a lot easier than maybe someone from London who's a little bit posher, a little bit slower.
And
so
noble.
Your tone helps, firstly. The same with Irish people. They say Irish people are great salespeople because people hear me speak and then they think, oh, that sounds funny. And then I say the number 3 and then they're like, 3? He doesn't say that correctly. Do you know what I mean? And then they're engaged. But that's not what you asked. I think there's a serious problem in real estate in general in Dubai with untrained agents. And companies are not investing at all in training their agents to sell. And the reason I learned this, and I'm not going to obviously say names, but I've worked with people, and I've told them because people I work with, they're my friends, and they'll hear the most basic sales technique. For example, when you learn your first day as a salesman, wherever you're working, is he who speaks first loses. So what that is basically, you ask me, okay, I'm interested in this property. I'm like, okay, it's 1.5 million dirhams. And we look at each other. Whoever speaks next loses that.
Bro, I don't believe. Look, you see, when you were speaking about like people who are like innately good in sales.
Yeah.
I'm from a city, we are known with that. I'm from a city called Oran.
Yeah.
So this does not exist. Whoever who speaks first loses. It does not. Sales, it's like freestyle.
Yeah.
You go just to build on what you said.
Yeah.
Please,
So with the point with the he who speaks first loses
Yeah.
is basically, if I tell you 1.5 million, okay, and I look at you and you look disappointed, then I'm sorry, but maybe if I speak to the owner, we can do 1.42, and then I'm already cutting myself.
Yeah.
If I don't say anything, who's to say that your face just doesn't look mad all the time and you're about to say 1.5 is perfect? You need to give the price and let them speak. But
okay. So
do you understand?
Yeah, I got your point. But sorry, I like when I debate with someone.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I am against what you just said.
Okay.
So if you give the price and you see, because there's EQ and there's IQ.
Yeah.
And you see that the person, he's genuinely struggling to accept the amount. You can feel it. You have an idea about his budget. You can see that he's thinking from where he will suck the money to reach the budget.
Yeah.
Or maybe the budget is not what he expected, and you keep silent. He might not go for it. You have to convince him. You have to add a little bit of 2 or 3 phrases. Calculated ones, yeah. But you don't like leave your position. You stay, this is the price. You don't leave your position. You know what I mean? And you might even tell him what he's feeling.
Yeah.
Tell him, I feel like you're struggling with the price, or I feel like you're not comfortable with like you have to go from an emotional standpoint. Anyways,
yeah, of course. But the emotional is already worked in at this point.
All right.
Price is last. When we're putting an offer in on a property, that's the very last thing we speak about. First thing I know is this the right area for you? If you're living in, I don't know, if you're living in Arabian Ranches, for example, and you're living in a villa and you want to move house, and you're coming to me in Creek Harbour and you're looking at a 2-bed apartment, first thing I'm thinking is, why are you moving from this side of Dubai to this side of Dubai?
Yeah.
Why are you moving from a villa to... It doesn't make sense. You're talking to the wrong agent.
Yeah.
You need to go to Tilal Al Gaf. You need to go to Arabian Ranches 2, 3, whatever it is. You're speaking to the wrong person. So I've all this figured out. The emotion I figured out. Are you an investor? Are you an end user? What do you need this for? What do you expect? Are you cash? Are you mortgage? That's one of the most important questions. If you're a mortgage buyer, are you pre-approved? If you're not pre-approved, I don't even want to take you out yet. No, I don't. And it's
you don't want to waste your time. Yeah.
Because these properties don't last in Dubai. I'll take you to see a property. You're not pre-approved. You go spend 3 weeks. It's gone. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So sorry, just to get back, because I really want to talk about this training. A simple thing like he who speaks first is something you learn very, very early when you start selling something. And there's agents here that are here over a year that only heard it yesterday. Do you know what I mean? They're like, I've never even heard of that. That's
for me,
what I'm talking about.
It's like, I got your point.
Yeah.
So you're saying that whoever who speaks first loses. It's something that people that they didn't even hear about before.
Yeah, they've never even heard
I heard
of it.
about it before, and in a way I'm in a stage where I don't use it.
Yeah. No, it's 101. It's something you
like
learn in your
someone who
first
have
day.
only the basics, you have to stick with it. But I believe if someone is charismatic enough, he have the information.
That's different.
Yeah,
very few people in this world are charismatic enough to just fly by. I want to get this because it is super important. Companies in Dubai, real estate companies in Dubai, are not investing at all in training. They'll bring someone here from the UK. We'll just call it the UK because it's just easy. So they'll bring someone here from the UK. They'll promise them, okay, you can come here. Look at this guy. He's our top biller. He billed 12 million dirhams last year, and we gave him 50% of that. He took 6 million dirhams home. Look at him. He's from the UK. He's from where you're from. They're like, okay, let's fly over to... They take all their money. They take everything. They leave their job as whatever they are. Not sales, let's say for this example, they're an electrician, they're a hairdresser, they're whatever they are. They fly over here, they come to their office, they have a suit on. They've never even worn a suit before. The suit doesn't even fit sometimes. Do you know what I mean? I remember I came from a job with a suit. Yeah. Wearing a suit in Dubai is very different to wearing a suit back in Ireland, because in Dubai there are slick suits here. Anyway, irrelevant. And it's hot. You get here, they give you a phone, a piece of paper and a pen. Good luck.
Are you serious? That's all they do?
Not where I worked. When I went to House and House, we had a week of training first.
Yeah.
And in Strata, where I am now, we do training every single week. Every agent gets training every single week. And as far as I'm aware, Strata are the only real estate company in Dubai that does weekly training. Every single Wednesday, we've got 2 hours of training. Agent training.
That's very sad. Like all the industries, fashion industry, we used to have trainings in Louis Vuitton, like...
Even when I was in car sales, I got sent to Germany from Ireland to do Audi training. Yeah. It's no joke.
It's important. Like, you have to be updated with a lot of things.
Yeah, I remember in one car garage I worked in, they used to make us watch Grant Cardone videos in the morning. Every morning we'd go in, we'd have 15 minutes of Grant Cardone before we start our day, which sounds stupid because the new Grant Cardone is very like harsh, but Grant Cardone has videos from the early 2000s, back when he was a car salesman. They used to come on videotapes. Yeah. And you can watch them, and they're actually very good.
Yeah, I like his persona, by the way.
He's so much now, but back then it was different. He didn't have as much money. It was more actual about sales, less about just showing off.
Have you watched Glengarry?
No.
The movie?
No. I don't really watch movies. I'm not a movie guy.
I'm a big movie fan, bro. So it's the best film for real estate agents. All real estate agents, they have to watch that movie. It's about the life of. It's from the 80s.
Okay,
you have Al Pacino there. You have to watch it, bro.
Okay, sick. Yeah,
it's a sick. Look, it's one of the best movies because I like sales.
Yeah,
or I used to like it. Now I hate it. Not I hate it. Like now, I think the natural evolution of a salesperson is media or like a host or an MC. You know. So basically, it's from the 80s, and it's all about leads, rivalry between agents. I advise you to watch it.
Yeah,
I'll get the name.
I'll get the name of it
I'll
after.
send you the name
send
later.
It to me,
All right, look. You want to say something? Sorry.
No, just basically the only point I was just trying to get across is if you are a new agent, for some reason my social media has led me to be like the person that people who aren't agents yet come to ask for. I'm sure there's loads of people. That sounded cocky, but a lot of the messages I get are actually people who want to be agents. If your company are not providing you with training, if they're not providing you with all these basic, very, very basic things, a week of training, it's not crazy. Show you how to answer the phone, show you how to make a call, explain to you your area, explain to you how to choose an area, explain to you what a service charge is, what chiller free. I remember like hearing someone like 3 months into my job, they're like, what does chiller free mean?
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I'm just like,
when the building pays your
I was like,
AC.
It's your AC, because in Ireland obviously we don't have AC, or the UK you don't really have AC, so this isn't even something you think about. But this guy was like, he's working 3 months in a leasing job, doesn't know what chiller free means.
That's not normal,
but that's not his fault. It's his fault that he wasn't trained. And I remember he wasn't an agent I worked with, he was actually an agent I was doing a viewing with, and I said, this is chiller free, and he said, what's that? And I was speaking to his client, and like, bro,
and there is no other word for it. They all call it chiller free. He cannot blame the wording.
You can't say I said it funny, nothing. Yeah.
So Gino, it was amazing.
Pleasure, my man.
Gino checked.